It's Feel Good Breakfast Show. Welcome back. We're opening up on S3, and I can tell you there are some great stories you need to hear about, and this is one of them. Now, while we were excited about the commencement of the 2019 Rugby World Cup in Japan, what a beautiful event that was, the opening match was between the host country and Russia. And there was actually quite an epic journey involved in getting the whistle for that match to its final destination. And this has been beautifully captured in the documentary film, Everything in Between. Take a look.
Alan, if you'd like to hand over the whistle for the first game of the Rugby World Cup to Ron and James.
Thanks, mate.
I still don't know what I'm doing here.
Day 29.
Day 31.
Day 59. Day 71 and For me, the whole success of this trip is judged about whether we arrive in Tokyo on the 19th of September.
I have to confess, this is my first time putting up a tent for probably forever.
I sometimes don't sense that same sort of urgency from James.
I don't think it would be any fun if you got from London to Tokyo without having a few issues. It's the first time that we've even considered, really, the implications of not making it.
Oh, yeah!
Don't have a visa, don't have a passport, don't know how I managed to get into Vietnam.
This is just miserable.
Ron's gonna hate me by the end of this trip, isn't he?
The couple that brush their teeth together, stay together.
From here to Tokyo.
Boom. It's very good.
Do you want a hug?
Wow, now that definitely looks like something, and it's incredibly raw, real, and it just looks like an absolute adventure. Now, joining us to share the behind the scenes of this story and the captivating film is the director from Fal & Co. It's Andrew King in the building. Brother, congratulations and well done, man. How are you doing this morning?
Yeah, thanks a lot. Thanks for having me here. It's always good to get up early and...
I'm always not too sure if you're being honest in that moment.
A lot of conviction in there, but it's okay. But it's actually really great to chat to you today. And we have so many questions about this. Just looking at that, I mean, that was absolutely incredible. But, you know, let's start us off, you know. Ron and James.
Yeah, Ron and James, I mean, they look like it's some genuine characters on their own, and I gotta be honest to think that you being a director in this, you've gotta be a part of this journey. We're talking about 27 countries in what took almost a year to capture, the highs and the lows, the entire journey. What was it like documenting from your side, man?
Sure, I mean, like what a privilege when someone comes to you with a project and says, hey, do you want to take a camera and, you know, travel to 27 different countries?
Do some crazy. Yeah.
So, they cycled for, you know, 9 months, but we checked in every 3 or 4 weeks, wherever they were. So we would come home, change the underpants, get new kit together, figure out where the next destination was, and then it was like usually a 2 or 3 day journey to get back to them and find them at some crazy place in the middle of the globe, and then spend a 10-day session with them and then wave them off again. So to see like that journey unfold and then get to the end, I mean, you're as much part of it as they are. And our goal when like filming is, you know, is to support the expedition and not add a burden, you know, not change the dynamics of it. So a small little crew living on the road with them, not like 3 or 4 big Land Rovers with big crew and a set, you know, who change the feel of everything. So when you're on the road with them, I mean, we're as much on the adventure, and it's, you know, what a privilege.
You know, when I think about that, you saw that trailer. I'm thinking about GoPros, I'm thinking about selfie cams. Just how much footage did you have to edit through?
Yeah, I think when we tried to add it up at the end, it was about 180 hours. So I think it's like 8 days of footage if you watch, you know. So the guys, the two of them had 2 GoPro cameras, and they filmed themselves all the time, and they were amazingly diligent with it. I mean, the scenes that we didn't put in the film or that we had to let go of. I mean, it's terrifying to think we could have made the same movie 3 times over with the amount of amazing footage that we got back. And then our goal was to set the scene, to show the stage, the landscape, and then find some like key scenes that we could anchor this adventurous journey around. But we wanted to retain that raw first-person nature where you feel like you're on the trip with them. And I mean, it's believable because you see them holding a camera, so you know that it's not, someone else has orchestrated or scripted it. It's really in the moment. But I think it would be just chaos if we watched, 80 minutes of just Ron and James with their GoPros. So we're there to set the stage.
Raw emotion.
But I mean, look, it's not just, I mean, you're talking about incredible stuff. I mean, 27 countries, the views, the destinations, the beauty shots that you must have gotten. Clearly a problem to try to figure out which ones to use. But on top of that, you've got these 2 unique characters in Ron and James themselves, right? Who apparently have never met before and were utilized to kind of drive this narrative. So what was your sort of envisionment of the 2 of them coming together to put this together, to be like, I guess, the final puzzle piece in it all?
Sure, when you get 2 protagonists who are, very different humans, you know you're in for a wild ride, so you know there's going to be some fireworks along the way. The amazing part of this story is seeing these 2 guys and how they benefited from each other and watching that maturing process and ultimately, taking a bit from each other. Ron is, he's 40-something and he's very meticulous and organized, and he very much set the trajectory of the adventure. And then James is the opposite. He is almost half his age. By the seat of his pants, he got them into these crazy situations, and Ron wouldn't have had this rich experience that he did, and James probably wouldn't have made it without him. So to watch the 2 of them learning, each other's traits, Ron letting go a bit, James understanding about having a bit of direction in life and, going after what you want, and then, achieving their goal together and showing that, 2 very different characters can actually come together to achieve a goal. The acceptance of people around the world, acceptance of other, cultures and personalities is important to show that, you can do some amazing things despite that.
Well, spoiler alert, the whistle made it on time. Spoiler alert, we won that World Cup.
Yes!
I'm sorry, we have to do the spoilers in there, but of course everything in between is it's a masterpiece, honestly. And I just want to thank you so much for all the editing and the fact that we get to enjoy this right now, the journey that was ahead of the journey of us winning that World Cup. So be sure to be inspired by the human spirit, I can tell you, the triumph and the determination of these 2 incredible people and what they had to do. Watch the documentary, everything in between. There's a lot of work that went into it, and I think it is a triumph when it comes to sports documentary mastery. Take a look at that when you get a chance.